Right, we got our filter fabric down. This fabric is to prevent the soil from washing into the rocks and eventually clogging the rocks. This is the only spot you should use filter fabric is on top. I know some guys use it between the dirt and the 3/4 stone. Where I'm located in Northeast Pennsylvania, that you don't do that up here. The only time it's recommended to put filter fabric between the dirt and the stone is when you're dealing with sand. If you have sandy soils, it's okay. But if it's clay-like or anything that's not sand, you shouldn't do it. I've built multiple walls that have been engineered. I'm certified by a couple manufacturers, and none of them ever recommend putting fabric vertically between, because what happens is when you essentially make a wall of fabric, and over time it can clog, and then what happens is as all this dirt here swells from water and the fabric is clogged, it then pushes against the stone, and then the stone pushes against the wall, and then that's what creates hydrostatic pressure, and that also leads to wall failures. So that's why you don't put fabric vertically between clay type soils and stone. I mean, me personally, even in the sandy soils, which is not in my area, only way I would put filter fabric in is if an engineer recommended it on a drawing. That way, if there's a failure, it comes back on him. Because that's not an issue you want to deal with. You know, you go through a lot of work and effort to build these walls the right way, and the last thing you want is for something like this to fall over. You know, it would be costly to somebody. Somebody's gonna have to pay a lot of money. You know, the contractor is gonna have to either pay a lot of money to come out and rebuild the wall for free. You know, if it's a shady contractor and he just leaves the customer high and dry, well, then the customer is out a lot of money, and I'm sure they won't go down without a fight. You know, they spend, you know, could be a small wall, they could be spending $5,000, or they could be spending $50,000. Either way, you know, they want something that's going to last. So I'm gonna start bringing in the topsoil. I'm gonna get this compacted a little bit more. We've got our compactor there. Get it flattened out a little bit, and then I'm gonna start bringing in the topsoil. I'll start working back there, bring the soil down and around, work here, and then kind of just work backwards. It's going to take quite a bit. We ended up building his patio up a good amount, more than what we had originally talked about. You can see there's at the end there's probably 14 inches of base. Originally there was a step down from the back door, but he didn't want the step anymore. He just wanted to be able to come out and step right onto the patio. So we had to bring all that extra base in, which in turn we're going to need more topsoil than originally planned back here, so we can get the yard on a nice slope. Everything's going to slope towards this back corner, because there's actually a yard drain back there, catch basin. It's covered in fabric now just so it doesn't get dirt in it, but everything will just drain that way.